Yo, everyone, what's up? It's that time again, another stream. I know this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things because, there's more important things to be concerned with in the world. But considering the fact that a lot of my subs, I assume, are gamers, and this is an issue worth talking about, and considering the fact that you don't see enough people talking about this besides the gaming community, and how what Sony is doing is pretty much anti-consumer and pretty hypocritical. They want you to support the games legally, yet after they basically abandon the games, they give you shit for playing them on emulators. Then again, Sony is hardly the only company that does this. There's other developers that are worse than Sony, but the issue is not the fact that PS Store is closing. The fact is, fucking games you fucking bought legally with your hard-earned money on the PS3. If the CMOS battery dies, it will eventually. It's going to happen. There's no delaying, the death of it. It's going to happen at some point. Even if you replace the battery, it's going to die and you can lose access to your games, even if you legally purchase them. And if it's even worse if you have DLC for games that you bought physically. So if you want to play those games again, you'd have to delete the fucking game, reinstall it, and basically delete everything in order to play your games. So, in fact, if you want to play your games on PS3, as long as you have physical disc, you're fine. But if you have DLC, that you bought with the physical disc, you can no longer use that because if your CMOS battery is dead, which incentivizes people jailbreaking the PS3. Now, I don't know enough about the PSP or Vita. I do own them. If this will be a problem on those platforms, but the very fact that you can't even freaking play your games that you fucking bought with your hard-earned money because of some bullshit, with the CMOS battery it's complete nonsense. I mean, it wouldn't cost them much if Sony just did one final update to the PS3 to disable the feature that makes it so you have to connect to PSN in order to actually play these games after your CMOS battery dies. Though the PS3 is mild compared to the PS4. I'll get to the PS4 later. Honestly, there are games, thousands of games right now on the PS3 that you cannot get anywhere else. Like, there's hundreds of PS1 games that are classics that have not been re-released to this day. And the only way you could purchase them right now, as of this recording, if it's for those of who watch it afterwards, if this is out of date while I'm recording in the present, the cheapest way to get a lot of these games is the PSN store on the PS3 and Vita and PSP. They're not available on the PS4, even though they can easily do that. They can easily, make these games available so people don't have to, worry about losing their, purchases. But Sony doesn't give a fuck about that. Jim Ryan, the guy literally says, who wants to play, PS1, PS2 games? These games look ancient, even though, there's a huge market for, retro games. And all this does when it comes to cutting access to these games and not making people be able to purchase these games in a, cheaper way, it makes it so you either have to pay hundreds of dollars to scalpelers or you fucking jailbreak the PS3 and say fuck you and just fucking do it anyway. I'll talk to Nintendo later I will about it. It's just Sony, makes it very clear. Of course, Nintendo, it applies to them as well, and any game developer. They don't care about game preservation. And it's complete hypocrisy. They, you know, go after people for using ROMs and emulators when they won't give people the means to play these games without piracy. Don't worry, this is not really a serious stream. It's about, what's currently going on with the PS3, Vita, and the PS4. This is pretty much a game preservation stream and how capitalism ruins gaming. Call of Duty should go to fucking hell. Fuck Call of Duty. Yeah, it's pretty hypocritical. So you don't care about your games that you release in the past, your past iterations, yet you go after people for wanting to play or wanting to preserve these older iterations. It's ridiculous. It really is. And the PS4 is fucking even worse. It's even fucking worse when it comes to the PS4. If your CMOS battery is dead and you're not connected to the internet, not only is your digital games not playable, your fucking physical games, yes, a fucking disc, like when it gets cut in the future, will just be a worthless paperweight. All because of fucking Sony and their bullshit, we want to fight piracy. So those who don't actually pirate games, who do the legal thing, they have fucking a collection that's completely fucking worthless, many years down the road. And I don't fucking give a shit if some of these games are backwards compatible. I shouldn't have to buy the fucking games again if I already own them. And there's some games I own on the PS4 that I can't find cheaply. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, I have them on the PS4. I bought them digitally. The PS3 versions of those games are expensive as fuck now. And if my CMOS battery dies in the future when PSN's cut, I will lose access to those games forever if I wanted to play them. It's the only way I can play Marvel Ultimate Alliance without spending a fucking ridiculous amount of money. There's still games on the PS4 that have yet to be ported to PC. If these games were ported to PC, I wouldn't care as much. But should I really have to buy these games again and again and again and again? It's fucking bullshit. Now, there's a guest I'm going to let on. I'm going to let them speak about their issue with the current environment with gaming preservation.
Oh, hey, Darks. Sorry, I'm late. Busy doing like a stream about the Shining Path, but that's off topic. But the only thing I hear about like PC and like what's been happening with like some of the gaming industry is that like, for example, like I heard like even our own tax dollars are meant to pay for these like games and all this stuff. Like for example, I think like Jim Sterling even talked about it, but I heard they're like, can you explain to me like about like the whole thing they're happening with like the game preservation and all this other shit?
Well, before you came in, I was talking about how PS4, that there's a DRM on the PS4. If your CMOS battery dies, it's going to die eventually. You can't do anything about it. And you cannot connect to PSN. You will lose access to all your games, including physical.
Wow. Damn.
So your PS4 library is basically a worthless paperweight. And if you want to continue playing your games many years down the road, you have to fucking jailbreak the damn thing.
Bruh. Like, for example, like, sorry, but like, I don't have like a PS in my dad's house, but my stepdad and my mom's house has one. And like, I can, like, if I had one like at my dad's house, like, I wouldn't be able to play like Jedi Fallen Order, uh, Star Wars, Squadrons, or Battlefront, or even Fortnite at all. I would have to use that jackhammer you're talking about for
Well,
the whole thing.
those games, they're on PC. So even if, let's say, Steam were to like stop, having the game on their store, you could still find them easy.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, this applies to Nintendo as well. These companies give you shit for using emulators, using ROMs, yet they won't give us the means to actually legally purchase them.
Bruh. Like, the other thing is, like, next, like for example, if like I deleted like a game that like, for example, like my dad bought like Jedi Fallen Order and some of the games that we were talking about. Like, let's say I deleted those games, like I don't even get the money back for like after deleting the game and stuff. Like, I don't even get it back for even deleting the game, as well as like it's so funny how like now these game companies are now doing all this stuff. Like, what the fuck?
It's
Like, we can't even access it.
What's so
Can't access
stupid,
anything.
I hear people like, oh, when I bring up the topic of digital games, it's like, but music, there's been digital music for years. It's like, well, I had to make a comment. You're comparing like apples and oranges. Music is so easy to find every of music that's been released in the past century. It's you can't video game preservation. If it weren't for pirates, most those of us who were born before the PS2 came out or PS3 would have never been able to play Mario Brothers, the original.
Damn. I was gonna say this. Afro Pride Line too. Pride Tunes, aka Afro Line. Oh my god, I love the shit he says on the comments. But like, he said this: it's too expensive for the parasites to preserve every single older game. They said.
Of course, it's expensive, but here's the thing: they should still give us the means to fucking play them. How difficult is it to be able to transfer our purchases from console to console if it's digital?
Like, it's so like, funny.
I'm not against digital distribution. I'm not against it.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's less room it takes up. It's more efficient in the long term. But the problem is with it is if you the DRM on these damn things. If the company goes under, you lose access to that game unless you jailbreak your console. If it's a PS4, PS3, it's not as much of a problem because as long as you have the physical disc and you don't have DLC downloaded, you can still play the game. It's just Sony, I wouldn't put it past them for the disc version, the PS5, to make the hard drive shitty on purpose. The disc drive, to make it go to break down faster so you have no choice but to purchase digital games. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. Yeah, they did. They did.
Damn it, the CIA messed with my thing.
It's okay.
I accidentally exited out of the thing by accident. Checked like stuff on Discord, but I forgot I literally am using this through Discord.
Yeah, they. What Pride Tunes says is really true. Square Enix had to remake Kingdom Hearts 1 from scratch because they lost the code.
Oh wait, let me do something. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go like put this link through like stream on Chrome.
You can't trust game developers to preserve their games. You just cannot. Nintendo, fucking without pirates, the Super Mario Brothers, a classic. You wouldn't be able to play the goddamn game today if it weren't for fucking pirates, uploading the ROM on the internet. And what's hypocritical with Nintendo? They go after ROM sites, yet they fucking have ROMs on their virtual console, on their fucking Switch Online. It's okay for them to use ROMs, but oh boy, those who actually did the work to preserve their games, we're the fucking bad guys. Does anyone have any idea how expensive GameCube games are getting now? Okay, the reason I'm not bringing up N64 because N64 is becoming easier and easier to emulate.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
The other thing is like, for example, like I was hearing this with, for example, you know, like the company Ubisoft or something.
Oh, fuck Ubisoft.
Yeah, I learned like the stuff they do, like they protect like people who like did like sexual assault and stuff like that. And like it's super crazy as well, like, and even our own tax dollars pay for like literally fund that company. That's the thing. Like why do we have to pay our like money from our taxes to basically pay these companies who exploit their workers, who just do this fuck shit like you're talking about, like with their game preservation.
Speaking of
and then protect people who
preservation, what do you think of Nintendo removing Mario 3D All Stars from their fucking store?
What?
They did that a few weeks ago.
Oh, damn.
What they literally did was the equivalent of the Disney Vault. Fire Emblem, the first one, the original version, because the first Fire Emblem has been remade 2 times. You can't get it anymore without ROMs. The first Fire Emblem in English.
I was gonna say this. The other thing is like, for example, like my dad has like some old Nintendo like game thing that he recently bought, like I think 2 years ago, and like the other thing is like I remember somebody mentioned this with like something with controllers or something like that. Yeah, Louis Gaming said this. Wireless Nintendo controller, like Nintendo Switch controllers, don't stop drifting. They aren't doing anything about it.
I literally bought 3 of those fucking things.
Oh wait, did you say like 3 Nintendo Switches or some shit?
No, Joy-Cons.
Oh fuck.
I'm just ranting about how Sony, Nintendo, and various game companies how they're anti-gaming preservation. It's like for fuck's sake, why are they remaking Last of Us, the first one? The game's not even 10 years old.
Like it's so weird.
I hate Nintendo, but I love their games. It's a paradox.
Just like separate Vinny. That's what we're doing. Like, you know how you separate from the artist and some shit?
Yeah, it's like remaking a fucking Last of Us is so dumb. It's like, what? The first one still looks graphically good on the PS4. Even like, it's not even 10 years old. What do you need to remake it for? Honestly, the Wii U I forgot that console existed. Honestly, my hot take is I think pirating games is completely justified. You don't owe these game companies anything. Because if they're not even freaking, treat their workers right or, do what they can to preserve their video games and you have to do it yourselves, we don't fucking owe them anything. And the scalpelers, I'm not fucking paying freaking, $100 fucking dollars just so I can rebuy a game I already bought on PS4 on another fucking platform. Fuck that.
Yeah, like they're basically trying to make you guys like spend more money on their shit.
Do you have any idea what this is going to do for there's going to be a black market of mod PS4s in the future.
Damn.
Because people are going to want to jailbreak their PS4s, and people are going to sell jailbreak PS4s for like ridiculous prices. I'm calling it now. Jailbreaking my PS4, is it really piracy? Jailbreaking it when I just want to play all my legally purchased games? No. I mean, if I had to fucking pirate fucking my games that I have already purchased, or go or do it through piracy to be able to continue playing my games, why should I fucking buy anything Sony fucking makes? I'm reluctant to get a PS5 because I don't even know if they'll pull the same shit too, if not even worse. Like I said, I believe they'll freaking make the freaking disk drive, purposely fucking, shitty just to force you to buy digital games. And I'm all about physical copies, but for PS4, they're going to eventually be a paperweight.
Yeah, like it's so weird.
And I don't want to hear it from PC gamers. It's like, oh, it doesn't really matter because we'll be able to emulate this shit eventually anyway. What? No, not yeah. We need a fucking decently powerful PC to run PS3 games on emulators. No, just no. I should be able to play the games that I fucking bought with my money, and as long as the system works. It's ridiculous. Agreed. I agree. That is real piracy. Considering we don't even know how these consoles were made anyway, what parts. They probably took the parts for the PS4 and PS5 are probably made from third world, countries anyway, where people died in slave fucking camps. I think it's completely justified to pirate every game that exists. The only games I would think are exceptions are indies. Yeah. I mean, fucking the hypocrisy with people that say, fucking Microsoft, fucking they're always online DRM. At least we don't have that. It's like, this is actually worse in a way.
Oh yeah, I remember. Did you know Microsoft is trying now buy Discord?
Of course they are. I fucking hate Microsoft.
Screw Microsoft. We hate them. Bill Gates can go to hell.
Well, the thing about PC gamers regarding emulation, the computer has to be far more powerful than the console that it's running, that's supposed to emulate. Like, anything, from, Atari all the way to, Super Nintendo, Genesis runs fine. But when you start getting to the Sega Saturn, N64, and PlayStation 1, things get more complicated. So it isn't just like we can emulate these games in the future. Not all emulators can run certain games. Certain games are impossible to run. And some emulators exist to run certain games. So you may have to have multiple emulators to play certain games because some emulators work better for certain games than others.
Yeah. Like, sorry.
I don't know if you know this, but Super Nintendo games were a bitch to emulate, back in the day. Compared to Genesis.
Bruh, like, like, with, like, older games now, it's, like, harder to get, and it's hard to find now all of a sudden. Like, due to, like, how expensive and how much, like, they're actually, like, worth.
Honestly, I have no regrets emulating all the games I played on the Super Nintendo as a kid. I have no regrets because I would never play it otherwise.
Yeah.
It's like some games you can't even fucking get because, of course, this also applies to PS3 and PS4 because the game company went under. But some games... Sorry. You continue.
Like, the other thing is, like, if I could not play, like, these, like, old games, like, for example, let's say, like, these, like, new games that just came out, like Jedi Fallen Order, like, or these new Star Wars games that came out, are now becoming, like, old, and now, like, you can't play them anymore. And they're basically, you can't even play them at all.
I don't want to sound like a PC elitist, but As long as it's on PC, you have nothing to worry about. If it's exclusive to a console, you're fucked.
Oh, fuck. At least in my dad's house we have Xbox. Oh, I don't know if Xbox is any better.
But I'm just saying that when a game is on PC, it's there forever. You don't need emulators to run those games. But if
Yeah.
it's a game on a console, especially something that's a bitch to emulate like the PS3, it's gonna be it could be years and years from now before you're able to play it without having a $20,000 fucking PC.
Yeah. The other thing is like, I remember somebody in the comment section said this. Like, how the fuck are the PC3 games if you didn't download all the digital stuff after release or something like that? Somebody said in
Wait,
the
who said
chat.
that?
Christopher Barker.
Okay, how fucked are the PS3 games if you don't download all the digital games after release? As long as the CMOS battery isn't dead, you should be fine for now. But if you want to play them indefinitely, if the battery dies, you're gonna have to jailbreak it. If you have a PS3, jailbreak it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'll be right back. Let me get some water.
Because if you jailbreak your PS3, it bypasses all this problem. You don't have to worry about the CMOS battery dying, and you can play your games no matter what. If you have a PS3, PSP, or Vita, mod the damn things as soon as you can. Yes, they will. It's not hard to emulate Super Nintendo games, but it was harder it was hard back in the day, like 20 years ago. I mean, if you play like emulators on PSP or Vita, the emulators suck. You need a PC to run them. A Wii can run most Super Nintendo games no problem. Yeah. Yeah, jailbreak every goddamn thing. Honestly. If with jailbreaking, people have actually backed up the patches and the DLC. You could actually find it, relatively easily. But again, you have to jailbreak your console if you want to bypass all these issues. Honestly, I would normally advocate for piracy, but considering the fact that I'm for consumer rights and I believe people, should have a right to keep their fucking games, that they pay their money for, because PS4, there's so many games that have yet to come to PC. And even if they are in PC, I still think you should jailbreak the console anyway. Because I shouldn't have to buy freaking, Tales of Hysteria again on Steam, or get the shitty PS3 version because freaking my fucking console is unable to play it. I shouldn't have to fucking play Persona, the vanilla version of Persona 5 in order if I want to play it because because the PS3 version will be the only way I'll play it in the future. It's like, screw that. I feel like jailbreaking, I think it's not piracy if you're using it to play your games that you've legally purchased.
Yeah.
Being anti-piracy is a moralistic argument. What about the developers who put all their hard-earned money into these games? Honestly, the only fucking developers that deserve your support are indie developers. Because those people don't have the resources for, to make AAA games. They don't have the resources to make the quality graphics that you would expect. Though they're the people that actually have passion for video games. They deserve your support. But most of these AAA developers, they don't give a fuck. They just most of the games they release are fucking broken at launch. I mean, look at Cyberpunk 77 as a great example.
Yeah. So what did I know?
Say it.
What I said? What did I miss?
Not much,
Oh damn.
honestly.
Right.
It's like you don't hear the Fandom Menace talk about this shit. You don't hear these right wing. It's like we're for customer rights. Yeah, where the fuck is your customer rights advocacy when it comes to bullshit like this, where it makes your game collection a fucking paperweight? Where the fuck are you, Jeremy? Where the fuck are you, young Simpa? Where the fuck are you, you know, nerds?
Yeah.
When shit
Or
like
the
this,
quartering.
yeah, where the
Oh my
fuck are
god.
you? Where the fuck
Like,
are you to actually talking in the favor of consumer rights? They're not for, okay. I'm sorry, but anyone that isn't for the rights of gamers to be able to fucking keep their games they purchased legally. You know what? Fuck you. I'll fucking as the communist on my fucking channel. I fucking believe we should give fucking power back to the players. Let the fucking players fucking take back what they fucking paid for. And
the acting is like,
if these developers
oh,
don't want to fucking preserve their games, fuck you. It's no longer yours.
like the other thing is like with like fucking Jeremy and like all these Phantom Menace people, like fuck them, they never cared. Like the other thing is like, oh my god, that video that I clipped from a stream we did together. Remember? Have you seen that video yet?
Wait, which one?
that I made where it says this Mr. Potato Head melts geeks and gamers' brain, not clickbait.
Yeah.
Whoever said that in the chat, thank you for literally helping me make that title.
Well,
oh my god, it was so funny.
well,
like holy shit.
the customer's not always right. You're right, they're not. But
Yeah.
when it comes to purchases, stuff that you bought legally, if you have to resort to other means to fucking play games, you played legally, I don't care what the argument is, you're wrong. Arguing for Sony's, the right to do that. You are wrong. I don't care. Okay, yeah, technically, Sony has the right to do whatever the fuck they want. They're capitalists. You're technically renting their games that they basically buy from them. You're just buying a freaking license, the right to use it. But I don't fucking care what the law says. I care about what is right for the for the consumer. I care about what is right for people who have shitty fucking jobs. They just want to play a video game and they don't have to freaking think about, oh my god, if I don't, I have to think about this 10 years down the road if I should buy these games. It's like bullshit. Jailbreaking isn't piracy. It's preserving my fucking library so I don't freaking lose it because of some asshole corporation deciding I no longer have a right to enjoy the games I fucking paid for.
Sorry. Oh wait, did I echo or some shit?
You're fine.
Oh, sorry. Just checking some shit. Okay, indie developers actually care about the quality of the gameplay and put hard work into it, making a game at least somewhat presentable and worthwhile. Yeah, we should be supporting indie developers than these like than the game companies we're talking about like right now. Like holy fuck, like
but you expect them to do this shit for free? We don't expect them to do this shit for free. I expect to be able to keep my fucking purchases until it doesn't work anymore.
like that's what we want. Like the other thing is like these game companies, like these people try to act like they're quote unquote like, oh, we care about the gamers and all this other shit. Like for example, these fandom menacers or these like little fucking wimps or bitches who basically act like they care about the gamers and all this other shit. No, the fuck you don't. You just care about being reactionary and converting people to fascism by taking over gaming communities. Like, I remember, you made like a video talking about like the fascist cantina.
And I agree with this. The chuds care more
Yeah,
about Sony censoring their fucking hentai games than they do about fucking them losing access to their games. Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna say this. As bad as Nintendo is, you could Nintendo doesn't have this bullshit. I could still play my Wii. I could still play my GameCube. I could still play my Game Boy Advance and my DS and my 3DS and my Switch many years down the road. Sony has officially made EA look like saints.
mm. It sounds like. Oh, sorry if I interrupted you.
You did not
But
interrupt me.
okay, like the other thing. Oh shit! Damn, bunch of people came in. It's like somebody said this, like Nintendo Online is like pretty cheap, and you can play a whole bunch of NESE game Nintendo I don't know games and NES games. However, Nintendo also charges ridiculous amounts for the re-releases, which is what all the games are now. Like
Well,
holy shit.
well, they take advantage of the fact that those games that you're talking about re-released, like Mario 3D World, Mario U, all the games that were on their failed system, the Wii U, they take advantage of the fact that people who didn't get a Wii U are going to want to play those games, and they'll pay $60. That's why they get away with charging 60.
Damn.
I know. My brother calls the Switch port of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze more like Tropical Greed.
Damn.
Okay,
The other Oh,
as for
sorry.
Nintendo's Switch Online, I don't need it. I don't need it because I have a freaking modded NES Super SNES Classic that has all the games I want. And I'll let you speak.
Oh, I was gonna say this, like the other thing is like some of these like game companies like they charge like a whole lot of shit for for like all these like other things as well. I was gonna say like for like re-releases of all this other shit. Like what like Maxwell Glover said, like a lot of game companies do that shit just to basically make you spend more money on on their on their shit entirely. It's like super fucking annoying and like that's like what I fucking hate. Like I can't let like basically for like older games, like I have to pay like mad fucking prices for that shit and it really pisses me the fuck off having to do that. And next with this game preservation that Darks here is telling me about, like now it's like pissing me off, like now they're like making it hard now like you can't like basically with where you can't even access like that shit where you're
That's
like illegal purchases of those games.
if your CMOS battery dies for PS3,
Yeah.
for digital and DLC, and everything for PS4. But there is hope. We have something called jailbreaking. We could save all of our games and it would give the middle finger to Sony. So there is hope.
Fuck you,
It's not like
Sony.
there isn't there is a solution, but the fact that we have to resort to this in the first place is what's bullshit about this in the first place. I would have never did this stream if we simply the worst that could have happened. We don't have access to trophies or online features. That would be the worst case scenario I'd be okay with. But we not even able to play our goddamn games legally is bullshit. Nintendo doesn't do this. As much as we hate Nintendo, they don't do this. Sony makes Nintendo look like saints and EA. How the fuck is EA look better than Sony is beyond me. Microsoft looks better compared to Sony. Fucking Microsoft. How the fuck does Microsoft look better? Oh God. They would, let's be real, Microsoft would do this. They'd probably be even worse if
Guys,
they
guys,
if they you were
I got
saying
an idea. I got an
what?
idea what should happen to Bill Gates and all these board members of Microsoft.
What?
Put them to a gulag.
Wait, what?
Put yeah, put them to a gulag. There, that's
Yeah,
better.
we should put him in a gulag.
Or North Korea.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. It reminds me of that pinball video where they were debunking Emily Blackery, where they were saying this like, oh, they import like illegal or contraband Hello Kitty toys into the DPRK. Gulag joke for what the fuck? Oh shit, sorry. I gotta laugh.
Thank God for emulators. Seriously, thank God. But unfortunately, we cannot depend on that for like PS2 and up. We can't.
Oh wait. Specky V saying this, the DPRK hacking Sony was literally a CIA fabrication. Oh my god, Pride Tunes, aka Afroline. Hello Kitty is based now. Oh my god, that's funny. We're gonna guys, we're the DPRK and we're going to import illegal Hello Kitty toys into the DPRK. See, now Hello Kitty toys are based.
You know what's ridiculous though about Sony? If
What?
they could easily make every PS2 game backwards compatible with the PS4 and PS1. Easy. But they won't do that. Sony, because of Jim Ryan, the fucking he basically saying, "Oh, why would anyone want to play this stuff? It looks ancient." Do you have any idea how many PS2 games I got, guys? I have fucking 200 PS2 games. Two of which, half of them is like imports from Japan. I agree. Jailbreak it.
Basically, all that shit.
I'm not against jailbreaking. Jailbreak the fucking thing. In fact, jailbreaking the PS3 is probably at this point is easier than hacking the Wii at this point.
Oh my god. Imagine if the DPRK actually hacked Sony and all that shit.
Imagine they hacked Sony and exposed, what Sony's doing. I wish they would hack Sony. I really do.
Or if they hacked all the game companies, except the indie gamer companies or their gaming companies.
The DPRK is based.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. I was like, when I was like looking into the DPRK, like from some of my Maoist friends who are like pro PCP, they told me this. They did like some cringe mistake where they accidentally like funded during the Kim Il Sung era the fascist state of Peru. Oh my god. Why DPRK? Why? But Dark Zenobia, Luigi shit, I forgot. Okay, it says Dark Zenobia, Luigi's Mansion 1 on 3DS looks worse than the NGC version because it doesn't look like scary than the NGC version back in 2001.
He's referring to the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh wait,
I have the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion.
Oh my god, look. Macbeth's head, Juche Twitch. When
I wish.
Imagine the North Korea hacked PlayStation to just grab their shit games.
Honestly, Sony actually doing this shit just encourages piracy. They think they're fighting piracy, but they're just encouraging it. And
Yeah.
if I have to be honest, people are just they can make it. Young Yao can, and amongst others, people can do a big uproar over this. But let's be honest, Sony doesn't care. They don't care about you. Yeah, about you. Once you purchase their system, they don't fucking give a shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
you have to take your freaking system and just do what the fuck you want with it. There's no justification what Sony is doing, and there's no reason not to hack your PS4. There's no way you should have to buy the games that you bought with your hard-earned money again when they fucking work. The only time you should replace your games is a better version comes out or the version you have is lost. That's it. If they work perfectly fine, there's no justification.
Yeah.
Sony screwed over some developers, actually, who were developing for the Vita. They actually didn't even tell them they were shutting down the store.
Oof. Right. Like,
Yeah,
the other thing is like, oh, sorry.
I agree. It's like, honestly, if you're going to game, it's best to do it on PC at this point. Not to sound like a PC, master race guy, but you don't have to worry about this shit on PC. Yeah, it happens on PC, but you're not stuck to Steam. You have so many services you can use. I'll let you say your piece.
Like posting a link to a video in some Discord servers, but the other thing is like, fuck PC entirely. Like, fuck fuck this game preservation shit. Like, it's super fucking stupid what they're doing. Like, they're just like now like wanting people to start what I forgot what did you say shit. I forgot what the word was that you were saying like that they're quote unquote trying to stop and shit, even though they're just encouraging it entirely.
Piracy.
Like piracy. Like they're just encouraging piracy and basically just like buying this shit off the black market and shit. You could just like buy all this jailbreak shit.
Well, you're gonna see a fucking market for jailbreak PS3s and 4s in a few years. I guarantee you, and they're gonna be priced up the ass. They really are.
Like shit.
Like any PS4 that isn't jailbreak is gonna be considered a worthless paperweight. So Sony just essentially made the PS4 Pro even more valuable than it is now because of jailbreaking.
Wow. This guy oh, sorry.
As for PC is not perfect, but the game that's coming to PC, it's on there forever. You can find ways to get it. Like I as a fan of the Tales series and the Persona series, I would love for all their games to come to PC. Because any game that comes to PC is one less game that's fucking stuck on a console and one less fucking reason to use an emulator.
Yeah. And so, what else, like, the other thing is, like, with this, like, new stuff of, like, PC and all this other shit, like, like, it just, like, blows my fucking mind now, like, this shit's happening. Like, it just blows my mind now.
People
because, like, I'm not
sorry,
that well up on this shit.
People like me were considered crazy 10 years ago when I said, what happens when those games are not available anymore? What happens when you can't get the patch? What happens when, when your games can't work because you have to access PSN? They just shrugged it off. Well, that's a reality now. And the PS fucking 4 even makes the PS3 look like nothing in terms of fucking DRM.
Damn. Okay. Like the other thing is like, oh shit! Some of the people in the chat are just making me laugh my ass off.
If that to be real, I've only played 2 Persona games. I've only played 4 and 5.
Wait, let me see. Oh my god, Daniel Paul, butt fuck RAP Flash Games. Holy shit. Butt fuck RAP Flash Games. Holy fucking shit.
Sony
The
is
people
just sorry.
funny.
Sony
The
is
people
just sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Sony,
wait.
it's just getting, giving people more of a reason to switch to PC by doing this bullshit. They're giving us more of a reason to switch to PC. Continue.
Oh, I was gonna say this. Basically, the people in the chat are funny as hell. And then the other thing is like somebody also mentioned this. Aren't Bitcoin miners making US expenses as fuck? Libertarians also ruining games, and Macbeth's headset Flash Game Preservation Department.
You're not gonna be able to, even if you replace the CMOS battery, you have to. It's a short term solution, and you have to do it ASAP. You can't wait because they'll shut them down in July. You have to jailbreak the damn thing. Is actually a more practical solution than replacing the CMOS battery, because the CMOS battery is going to die even if you do replace it. It's better just to jailbreak the damn thing. Every game deserves to be preserved in some way, even Call of Duty. And it kills me to say that.
Oh
It
my
really,
god. I said Bitcoin miners are the greatest cocks. No offense, but here's the other thing. I actually made $200 off of Bitcoin, and my dad's also now becoming a Bitcoin channel now. I'm not gonna give the name, because then
I
I'm doxing myself.
that's okay.
Yeah. As well as sanctions don't affect it at all. So it's helping us destroy the petrodollar. See? It's anti-imperial. Like how people say China's anti like people how they say that China's anti-imperialist or some bullshit.
Hold on. Let's not get into that.
Yeah. Let's get back to the PC and game preservation as
Okay.
being bullshit.
Yeah, you could still play your physical PS3 games at the CMOS unmodded PS3 if the CMOS battery dies, but not if it has DLC that you've downloaded originally. If you want guaranteed preservation, you need to jailbreak your PS3 as soon as you can. There's literally no reason to do it. It's easy. I looked up a YouTube video. It's fucking easy.
Oh yeah. Like they also said I'm not trying to talk for one day, please. We're not. We just only mentioned that for once. As well as like the other thing is like with this the Sony department, it's like super funny like how like now like they're trying to say this like they're trying to stop like pirating, but they're not doing it at all. They're just encouraging it more. And then like with the Sigma I think you said like Sigma battery, like
No,
once it dies in the
CMOS
future,
battery. I think that's what CMOS. Yeah.
CMOS battery dies and shit, you basically lose all the access to your legal purchase games and shit.
That's on PS4. PS3, it's digital and DLC.
Damn.
Yeah, but there's some games right now in certain regions you can't even download certain patches. Though I don't know why anyone would want to play this game, but Skyrim is forever unplayable because of this on PS3. then who? But then again, who the fuck plays Skyrim on PS3 or any Bethesda game? You're better off playing those games on PC.
Yeah.
No, it's insulting to compare any Zelda game to the CDI Zeldas. It's insulting. Even though I think Skyward Sword is not a good Zelda game, it's nowhere near as bad as those games.
Z Ken said, "Fuck Skyrim job. Never got into the overrated shit." Oh my god. Pride Tunes, aka Afroline. My dad grows weed now. They. Oh, can I also say something? My dad also has some weed, but he makes like some lies saying like, "Oh, he's just holding it for a cousin and
Yeah.
shit." Or remember? Oh, shit! I gotta see this.
He wants to
Hey,
go back to. Okay, Falcon. We let's not change the talk again.
yeah, yeah. Back to this. Like somebody said this. Like sh- oh wait, shit! I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot
Anyway,
that.
game preservation. I just want to get back to the subject.
Yeah.
It's unlike other forms of media, like books, comics, music. There. You don't see the actual game developers, the game manufacturers, doing a good job. With a few exceptions, there's some developers that actually try to maintain their games. Because for anyone who knows anything about history, a lot of films in the early 20th century and music is forever lost because they didn't preserve, movies especially. They didn't preserve, the music, not music, movies. There's many movies that we'll never see because they never did that good of a job of preserving movies. There's a lot of comic books that have been lost as a result of poor preservation. Video games could have suffered the same fate if the pirates didn't start preserving these games from the very start. Because many games that, depending on when we were, kids, that we played on the NES, Super Nintendo, you can't find them anymore. Like one of the greatest, beat 'em ups of all time, Turtles in Time, not the, arcade version, but the Super Nintendo version, you cannot find that anymore. It has never been re-released in any form. The arcade version of Turtles in Time has been re-released in an arcade cabinet recently, and a crappy remake, a decade ago. But if it's a licensed game, it's even worse when it comes to preservation, because many games have never been re-released, and if they have, they've only been re-released in a limited capacity. Especially if you're a licensed game. If you're a licensed game, your preservation is like even more necessary than a game like Nintendo or Squaresoft or Capcom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
90% of pre-mo. Oh wait, 90% of pre 1929 movies are gone. Shit, I didn't know that.
Yes, that's history. That could have been the gaming industry had it not been for pirates. In fact, it would have been a lot more than that. 90% of our gaming history, our libraries potentially could have been lost forever if it weren't for these pirates. Because you cannot trust a company to preserve these games. And if that to be real, I think copyright is cancer. copyright laws are probably the biggest cancer that has ever existed because it doesn't actually protect a artist's copyrighted work.
Yeah. As well as somebody said that somebody also said this, like, for example, like asked this, Daniel Paul said this. So I don't have any DLC, so I'm pretty sure I won't be contributing to anything if I do jailbreak my system or something like that.
You
And
actually could get free DLC with jailbreaking. You could
shit,
yeah, it does a lot of stuff. It isn't just playing your digital games. You could actually download DLC. Though I don't know how to do that yet.
the other thing is like somebody said this, like, what was it? And that the sad thing is to think that about now, capitalism does not need to be preserved. Let it go like a fart in the wind.
Exactly.
Like that's what needs to happen. Like basically, game like the like what's happening is like really not like helping anything at all with like the shit with game preservation and shit. Like fuck game preservation. Fuck it entirely. Just like fuck game preservation. I hate it entirely.
Wait, game
Like,
preservation?
oh shit, sorry, I got them mixed up. If I got them
Oh,
mixed
I
up,
was
like
confused.
yeah, I think I got them mixed up. No offense.
You mean
Because kind of
okay,
because the thing is, oh
the
sorry,
only
I was
thing
like,
copyright law should do is protect the property so they don't actually get lost. They shouldn't
yeah,
be used to, you know, protect a fucking parasitic, corporation that'll just sit on it for years and
as
never
well
do anything with it.
as well as my channel has gotten affected by copyright laws. Like for example, like one video got a copyright claim for just like playing like a little bit of music in the background, and it got blocked in 2 countries. Then next, for example, I had another video where basically like it also got like copyright. Like I remember like other people got their videos copyrighted as well and stuff. Like I remember my old channel, I got like a video where I like filmed a scene from The Mandalorian.
Oh,
And
okay. This is getting off topic. All right, this is getting a little off topic.
oh, sorry.
I was just using that as an example, Christopher Parker, but there's a lot of superheroes that nobody knows exist because, they didn't really do a good job of preserving comics back then like they do now.
Yeah, like I heard some got like are now like gone, like not known and stuff. And also, there's something else. Somebody said this. And another reason why I don't get into many games is how unoriginal ideas and the same first-person shooter zombie dystopian futures and post-apocalyptics and then some.
I'd like to maybe talk about this further in another gaming stream.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much running. I've run out of things to talk about regarding, gaming preservation. But one thing I will say is public domain should apply to video games. In my opinion, if a game is no longer in print and hasn't been for a while, and the game developer has gone under, the rights of the game is unknown. Nobody is claiming to actually. They haven't sold the game for many years. I feel like the copyright holder has no right to that game. I don't believe games should be owned indefinitely, especially when, most of these games that I've been talking about have not been re-released in decades. I think video game copyright needs to be completely reworked. It should not be the same as this rigid copyright that, it affects everything else. Copyright laws in general are cancer and will ultimately, you know, make piracy for video games even more, necessary if you want to actually play, these games in the future.
Yeah.
It needs to expand to video games, but copyright laws and people who have a vested interest in keeping copyright laws as they are, Disney, video games will not actually be protected under copyright law, where, and I'm referring to in a way where it becomes public domain if it's not, if the game has not been released for a certain amount of time. Because in my opinion, any game that has yet to be re-released should be public domain. That you shouldn't be, in legal trouble for, pirating it because they're not making a profit off of it. I mean, seriously, is Konami really making a profit off Turtles in Time? The original, not the arcade version, the Super Nintendo version. Are they really making a profit off NES games that have not been released in years? Is Nintendo really fucking making a profit off fucking old versions of freaking Pokemon games? Oh wait, you can't, pirate the original, Emerald and Snapfire or Diamond and Pearl. You have to buy the official versions. No, fuck you. Honestly. But then again, that's another topic for another time. Anyway, my final argument for piracy. I don't believe you have any obligation to give any of these developers your money.
Yeah.
You have no obligation because the time crunch these developers force on their workers, the subpar games that they freaking release. I mean, the Cyberpunk 77, a fucking broken piece of shit, was so bad it got fucking recalled. Freaking majority of games are either incomplete or they're broken messes. And as far as I'm concerned, why should we give them our money when they don't actually give us, a product that works? Also, if these developers don't give a shit about their past history and they don't want, freaking to make a profit off any of their old games, you know what? Fuck them. If they don't care about, their older iterations of video games that people love, then you know what? Fuck. If you don't care, then I'll fucking pirate your shit and not have any freaking regrets. I will not lose any sleep. In fact, I don't lose any sleep when I pirate a video game. Anyway, may the gamers of the world unite. Fuck Sony, fuck Nintendo, and fuck anybody that pulls this bullshit with fucking these DRMs. Later, everyone, and may the force be with us all. Thank you.
Wait.